Hey, everybody. I am so excited to be here. It feels like forever since I've had a chance to talk to you. This is a special sort of announcement episode. So we don't have our normal theme song. This is just me talking, but I don't want it to be so different. So let me start with our theme sound. And that is a real enthusiastic hand rubbing because I'm very excited about the things we're going to tell you. There's a few things coming up. We're about halfway through our break. Season 2 starts on September 30th. And there's some stuff happening before then, and there's stuff happening right then, and there's stuff happening right after that. But I wanted to let you guys know first. So that's why we're doing this. I'm joined by my executive producer and my wife, Susan Lambert.
Hello, I'm Susan Lambert, also known as Susan Lambert Haddam on 80s TV Ladies.
But why do you add the Haddam? I mean, I'm honored, of course, but why do you sometimes not, like sometimes you're just Susan Lambert and then other times the Haddam gets added?
So Susan Lambert Haddam is my pen name, right? So everything I create goes under Susan Lambert Haddam. And that's because there's just a heck of a lot of Susan Lamberts in the world. Like, just a lot of them. And there aren't that many Susan Lambert Haddam. So a few, probably, 10 years ago, I was like, there's too many Susan Lamberts. And,
I mean, like you are literally saying there are other Susan Lamberts that are writers of plays?
No, not any writers of plays. There's a Susan Lambert from Australia who is a director who's been around a while. And then I thought there were other Susan Lamberts on crew. It turns out that IMDb just separated some of my credits into some random Susan Lambert, and I can't get them back.
So they divided you off into like subgroups of yourself.
Yes.
Great. Right.
So anyway, but also in the world, there's an author like that does academic stuff. There's academics. There's a dentist that named Susan Lambert. So there's
almost nowadays never do dentistry.
Not anymore. Not since that one time when. No,
let's not talk about that. So, well, you know that there's 4 Richard Haddams, by the way.
I know them all.
Because I'm related to them all. They're 2 cousins, an uncle, and me. And we all reside in California. Anyway, thank you for telling me who you are and what your name is. This has been very informative.
You didn't know that. I talked about this when I was like, I'm going to start using the Haddam because
I knew you did it. I just wasn't sure why or under what circumstances or you probably told me at one point and I just wasn't listening. You say I do that a lot.
Sometimes you do.
Oh, God. Okay, let's get on to the announcements.
I'm here to listen to you. Tell me all about what's happening for Richard Haddam's Paranormal Bookshelf podcast and what's coming up.
I'm excited to do that. Do you want to look at the list I made? You just sort of ask me, then you ask me, and then it'll be like I'm answering.
You want me to pretend to interview you?
Like when Johnny Carson would go, hey, I hear you just got back from Hawaii. And then, of course, Jay Leno would do, his 5 Hawaii jokes. So why don't you ask me like we're just talking and then I'll tell you what's coming up.
Like I'm your sidekick.
No, like you're the host of the talk show and I'm the guest. I just did my set. Now I've walked across and I'm sitting down, the band's playing and I sit down and I'm just like, I don't know what the conversation's going to be. So I'm just sitting down. Hey,
all right.
It's great to be here.
Great. It's so great to have you on. I'm so excited. I hear that you're going to be launching a special part of your podcast up soon.
Yeah, why? That's right. Which one are you talking about?
YouTube.
Okay, the YouTube. Okay, yes. Hey, you know what, Susan? We're going to be launching YouTube. Okay. There's one guy who has been plaguing Tess Feifel and myself on Twitter, begging for Richard Haddam's Paranormal Bookshelf to be played on YouTube. And we're now going to do that.
Be available.
Be available. Yeah.
Distributing on the platform of YouTube. It's okay.
I'm talking like the YouTube. Yes, it will now be on YouTube. It will be accessible on YouTube. Look, there are people, I didn't know this. There are people who only consume through YouTube.
They consume everything.
That's it.
They eat YouTube.
Pretty much. Larry is one of them.
Yes.
Everything sort of travels through YouTube. And so now beginning on September 9th.
Yes.
all 10 episodes? No, we're doing one per week.
We are rolling them out.
We're rolling them
out.
We're rolling them out. Thank you. Thank God you're here. We're rolling them out starting on September 9th. That will be episode 1, Ghosts and Specters. So for those of you who have already heard it, you can now listen to it on YouTube if you would like. That's an additional way to listen to our show.
And a great way to share the show.
And we'll be rolling those out. That'll then sort of go into season 2 as we begin season 2. Season 2, as I'm sure most of you listeners know, will premiere on September 30th. So that'll be the first episode of season 2. But even as we're doing that, we will continue rolling out episodes on YouTube, one after the other, in order until we sort of catch up with ourselves.
Exactly. And then when we catch up with ourselves, we'll set a date for when they launch. It may be the same day as the podcast. It may be the day after.
Right. So I guess the point is, beginning September 9th, if you go on YouTube and type in Richard Haddam's Paranormal Bookshelf, you should be able to listen to the first episode.
Yes. And I think hopefully if you type in Richard Haddam, something will come up, but we'll see.
Well,
YouTube's so crazy.
What would come up?
Oh, we figured out a way to do youtube.com/Richard Haddam. We're going to use that.
Well, but use it for what? I mean, the only content they're going to get is the podcast.
Yes.
It's not, I just don't want people to think there's pictures of me or something.
We're just going to have a little, I'm going to create a little music video of Richard Haddam, like it's your wedding day or your birthday.
Okay.
Or
you know
your
what?
death day.
That's great. You do whatever you want. I can only be responsible for the podcast. Okay. So that's the first part of the multi-pronged announcements.
What else is
coming to YouTube?
Okay, we're coming to YouTube. Yes, you're coming to YouTube. Okay, but what else is coming out? What else can audiences and listeners expect for Richard Haddam?
Okay, see, the way they do it on Johnny Carson, the way you would do it is you would actually mention the thing that would then prompt me to, because you've got to say, hey, so I hear you got a dog. Oh yeah, I got a dog, Johnny. Let me tell you, having a dog, it's a weird thing. And then I do my 5 dog jokes. So you got to give me the thing.
So I hear that you're going to be available on Patreon.
That's not the second one. It's the AMA.
Oh, God.
It's right there.
I didn't understand what
I'm now going to prompt you to prompt me.
Now, Richard, I hear that you might be, let me try again.
Kevin, don't edit any of this, by the way. This is all going in.
It's gold. Solid gold. I hear you will be doing some bonus episodes coming up.
Yeah, I will. Like what? What's one of those bonus episodes I'll be doing? Why is it so hard? Just ask me if I'm doing an AMA.
But you know what everybody likes, what I hear people like is an Ask Me Anything, an AMA, if you will. Are you going to be doing one of those?
Oh my gosh, yes, I will. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing an AMA, Susan. I'm going to be doing an AMA. How's it going to work? Okay, so for those of you listening, and within the sound of my voice, here's what you need to do. You can email. One way to do it is you can email a question to Richard at richardhaddamsparanormalbookshelf.com. Now, you really got to watch yourself while you're typing this, okay? There's no apostrophe, by the way. I think you know that in Haddams, but there is an S. Richard at richardhaddamsparanormalbookshelf.com. Send an email with your question. Ask me anything. And guys, you know me. When I say ask me anything, I mean, ask me anything. This is going to be a special episode that you guys can listen to. And I honestly will answer anything. So send in your questions. You can also send in questions if you want through the Facebook group. First, you got to join, but most of you are already there. And we've been partying all summer. But go ahead, send in your questions. That's how you do it. And one of the ways you can also do it is just simply going to the website, going to the little, contact page and just type in your question there and we'll get it there too. So you've got a week now to send me your questions. Then I will tape the episode. I will record the episode, I believe the kids say.
That's what the kids say.
And then it's going to come out. It'll be a special episode released on September 16th. This will not be behind any sort of Patreon paywall. This will be for everybody. And it'll be a way for us to all of us to get excited about the launch of season 2, which will come 2 weeks after that.
Fantastic. And it sounds like there's like something every week for Richard Haddam's Paranormal Bookshelf.
Pretty much.
Now, will you be launching in any sort of special Patreon page?
Oh, you mentioned Patreon, and it's interesting because that's exactly what I'm doing. There will be Patreon. This is going to start on September 23rd. So by September 23rd, if you go to Patreon and go to Richard Haddam's Paranormal Bookshelf, you will be able to be a patron of the show. Let me explain kind of what's going on here. A couple things about my Patreon. Right now, all of the cost of the show, which weirdly does cost in a way that, I mean, you always told me your podcast cost money, and I was working on Titans then, and it was like a fire hose of cash blasted into our faces at all times.
That's exactly what it felt like.
But man, let me tell you, someone turned that hose off a couple years ago.
Yes, they did.
And it's been a bit of a drought around Casa Lambert Haddam.
Yes.
So we're doing everything we can to bring this content to you. When you are supporting us on Patreon, you literally are supporting us in a more basic way than you can ever believe. I want to let you know that a portion of all of your Patreon donations will go to charity, and it'll be quite possibly a revolving sort of charity of each one, like each season, a different one. So as you go to Patreon, you'll see where your money's going. It's going to go mostly to me. I want to be very clear on that.
It's not going to you. It's going to the people that you pay to do the podcast. It's going to people that are doing services for you.
Well, yeah. Okay. It's going to Kevin.
It's going to Kevin. It's going to pay
Nima
for the...
Oh, boy, is it going to Nima Kazaruni. Let me tell you, that music, which is amazing, that ain't free.
It is amazing. So, yes, this podcast is produced, I think, at a very high level, particularly given the cost. We're getting things for a good price, but at the same time, we're still paying for things because it's important for people to be paid for their creative work.
Right. And I also want you to know that you're going to be getting content. There's going to be special bonus content. Now, what that content is going to be primarily me in conversation. Me in conversation with people that you've learned about from my life, from the show. And it's also going to be in conversation with people from the world of the paranormal, mostly authors that are related to the books I've covered. And then some just, other people who have spent their life kind of delving into the same mysteries that we love to read about. And my goal is to have them sort of match up with books I've covered, but I've already got a couple that I know are coming in who are just sort of interesting paranormal people, let's say, in their own right. But this will be the bonus content. There's going to be episodes every season, and you're also going to get access to special merch. Now, merch will roll out and will be available to everyone, but when you're a Patreon supporter, you're going to get special merch, and you're also going to get free merch that comes along with your subscription. So then as other things happen, there'll be more Patreon perks. But anyway, check it out on the 23rd and see if you would like to join the special Patreon club.
But I also hear that you can listen to episodes ad-free through Patreon. Is that going to be true for you?
Yes, that is also true. There will be ad-free episodes.
And for this particular launch, you're going to be allowing people to access the first episode of season 2 a day early if they're patrons.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Thanks for bringing that up. Season 2 for everybody starts on September 30th. But if on the 23rd you go to Patreon or anytime before the 29th and sign up, you will get the first episode of season 2 one day early, ad-free. So check it out. And should I announce? I mean, I've sort of talked about what the first episode is going to be. I've talked about what the book is going to be.
Have you?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, because I went on John Killian's Explanus podcast.
Not everyone that's listening to this has heard that.
Well, then I'm going to tell you right now. The first book we're going to cover in season 2 is Linda Godfrey's Monsters Among Us. And it's a pretty cool episode. It's a very special episode. It's a kind of a different episode. So you're not going to want to miss it. And if you're really excited, you're going to get it a day early on Patreon. So check out my Patreon page on the 23rd of September and get ready for the premiere of the show on September 30th.
I can't wait. It is a really special episode. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, because you read them all. You see them first because you read them.
I read them.
And then based on what you say, I make changes. Then Kevin, then he gets it and he has to hear it.
Yeah.
And then based on what he says, I make changes. And then the rest of you, you just hear it. And then based on what you say, I try to take that in.
And then it goes to Nima.
Then
for
Nima,
music.
oh my God, Nima, I know. Oh God, we got to get these episodes to him. He's got a stack of work ahead of him. God, I love that guy. Hey, I forgot to announce that too. Oh, wait a second.
You forgot a very important announcement.
We're going to have, oh my God, except I don't know exactly when. You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you're going to find it. Start looking. Start looking now. Nima, this is so great. And I've been working with him on this. There's a Spotify playlist of sounds of Richard Haddam's Paranormal Bookshelf. So many of you have been reaching out and saying, oh my God, the music is so amazing. And it is amazing. And so Nima and I talked and I'm like, would you be willing to sort of make a playlist of just the music? Take the cues and put them into a thing. And he's like, yeah, sure, I can do that. So we're actually doing 2. For season 1, there's going to be a volume 1 and a volume 2. Volume 1 is going to come out. I mean, it may already be out. Okay. Start looking on Spotify for Sounds of Richard Haddam's Paranormal Bookshelf, Volume 1. So very close to today or very soon after today, you will have access to that. And then Volume 2 comes out. And then as new music is written for season 2, probably at the end of season 2, you'll be able to get that on a special playlist.
It'll be your soundtrack. It's the soundtrack album of your podcast.
It really is. And I was shocked when he sent me the cues separate from the audio track, how much they reminded me of the episodes. I mean, you'll hear it and go, oh, right. That was when he was talking about the Spiricom. Or, oh, that's that creepy thing from that guy who had sex with aliens. Your favorite episode.
Not my favorite episode.
Anyway, so we've got that coming up, and I'm so glad Nima has done such beautiful work. You guys are going to love it. And that's just a free gift to you.
Now, you have something very exciting coming up for fans in Los Angeles.
I do. And this is the big one. This is the biggest announcement of all. Okay. We are going to do a special live episode. Now, let me explain what this means. This is different from, say, I know Scared All the Time does live episodes, but this is going to be recorded live. And here's what it is. In Los Angeles, on the evening of October 10th, that's a Thursday night, it's going to be a special live performance of Richard Haddam's Paranormal Bookshelf. You'll be able to see it in person. I will be there reading a brand new episode. There's going to be 100 people, basically 100 tickets available.
Yes.
Okay. And you'll get the address. All of this information will become available. And it's going to be, I'm going to do it live. There's going to be drinks. I will be there before the show to meet with some people. I will be there afterwards. And I just think it'll be a really fun way for Los Angeles fans to experience the show, to, I'll get to see them face to face. You guys will get to come up, say hi. I'm so excited. It's October. It's going to be decorated for Halloween. It's going to be an early Halloween event. It is ticketed. So there will be tickets available on Eventbrite, and they're available right now. Okay. So if you go to Eventbrite and search for Richard Haddam's Paranormal Bookshelf, you will be able to purchase tickets right now for the October 10th show. Okay. That's in Los Angeles. It's coming right up. I mean, that's right around the corner.
It is right around the corner. We have so much to do.
And I'm so excited about it. And I'm already planning more live shows. I think we've got one in second season. We're thinking of doing East Coast. We're thinking of maybe sneaking up to the Pacific Northwest, toward next spring. But here's what I want to do. And I want to put this out to the audience. I want to do these live shows. Okay. I think the show is designed for it. And because of the nature of the show, there's a connection between you guys and me. And I want to be able to meet some of you. And since I'm not doing book signings, and I'm not, unfortunately, David Sedaris, so I can't just do a live reading and then, go on tour across America. What I'm going to try to do is plan different areas, but I'd also like to throw it out to you guys. If you're living in an area, really, I'm going to say anywhere on Earth, and
wow.
you would like, but I'm limiting it to Earth.
Okay.
And you would like me to come to your city, let me know. And let's see if we can't work that out. If you guys can maybe provide the venue or the place, I mean, we'll figure this out. If you have a local bookstore that hosts events, we can set this up and I can come to your city. All right. I may need plane fare and of course a 5-star hotel. But aside from that, it's not really going to cost you that much.
I mean, probably a 3-star.
Well, I don't know. It depends on is that like out of 10?
No, it's usually out of 5.
I would go 4 out of 5, 3 out of 4, but that's about that. That's as low as I'm going to get. I'd like to keep it up in the top 25% of hotels.
Depends on where you are.
Anyway, my point is, let's talk about this. And I'm going to speak with my producer, Susan Lambert, and we're going to sort of maybe figure out a few ways to make this easy for me to get to where you guys are so I can meet you in person and do a special episode. So here's how it's going to work. It's going to be a live episode. We're going to record it on the 10th, and then it will drop on the 28th. And that'll be the Halloween show. Okay? So if you can't make it because you don't live in LA or you won't be in LA, that's okay. You're still going to hear it. It'll still be part of our season. But if you can make it in person, it's going to be extra special. So I'm super excited about that. Thanks for asking, Susan.
Of course. And there will be some VIP tickets with some extra perks.
There will be VIP tickets. And in a weird way, it's almost like a sort of a, Patreon ticket. You're going to get a special pre-show reception with me, just me and the VIPs. I'm going to have a special.
I might be there, and I'm not a VIP.
You're always a VIP.
Oh.
There's going to be a special themed cocktail that I will create myself that we will all be able to enjoy. And the best way to go into this show, of course, is a little wasted. I know I will. And then there'll be some free gifts. I mean, not free because you're paying extra for these tickets, but there'll be some gifts that will be Richard Haddam's Paranormal Bookshelf themed. So, all those details will also be on the Eventbrite site. So check out Eventbrite, look for Richard Haddam's Paranormal Bookshelf. You'll find the live event. It's October 10th. I am so excited.
I am very excited. I've seen the space. We're really thrilled. It's a really perfect space.
It really is.
For this reading, and there might be some special guests. We're working on special guests, and there will be a link in your description to the Eventbrite.
Of course, that is, and you know what? Once this goes live, it'll also, you'll be able to find it. We'll be promoting it on social. So Twitter, Facebook, all of that. Don't worry. I want to cast a wide net so that anyone who's in LA at least has the opportunity to get into this one. And depending on, how popular it is, we may do another one in Los Angeles before too long. Because this is not, the biggest venue in the world, but there should be about 100 tickets. So I think we'll be able to do it. And hopefully if there's a lot of people who don't manage to get into this one, like I said, we'll do another one pretty soon. But I also want to do one where you guys are. So let me know, reach out. We'll figure something out.
I'm excited. That's going to be a really special night.
And then of course, season 2 starts on September 30th. The episode will be Linda Godfrey's Monsters Among Us. What else do we need to talk about? We covered Patreon.
We covered it. I think we covered everything. But,
YouTube, AMA. You guys know, so do the AMA, get to me through that Richard at Richard Haddam's Paranormal Bookshelf.com or through the website contact link.
Yeah. Send your questions in for Richard Haddam. Not too many questions about me.
Don't. Yeah. Susan doesn't want to. She doesn't want you to ask her anything.
I don't think your listeners understand how much of a mushroom I am.
Well, they do now. Okay. Is that everything?
I think that's everything. Honey, it's so great. I'm so proud of you, and I'm so thrilled with your show and the stories you're telling.
I could never have done this without you. With you paving the podcast way and figuring out so much stuff and just being able to sort of lead me through this jungle, I would never have been able to do this. So thank you.
It's been really, really fun, and your podcast is incredible. I read them, and then when I hear them, they're almost like a different thing.
Oh, well, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, I enjoy this. Is good. I like going on your show where you're Johnny Carson and I just answer stuff.
Yeah.
And it turns into sort of a love fest. I like it.
Ha ha ha.
That's a fake laugh. Great. Okay.
No, that's my Johnny Carson.
that was an uncanny Johnny Carson.
Wasn't it?
All right. Guys, I will see you soon. with a whole new season of episodes. I can't wait. Take care of yourself until then. Find the light in the dark, as we always tell you, and we'll see you again soon.